What's going on, fellas? Welcome back to another video on the Upholds Manhood channel. As always, it's good to see you. I'm proud of you for still committing to yourself, still clicking on these videos, still learning more about how to grow and evolve as a man, how to better your life and better your relationships with the people around you. That's important, and I'm proud of you as always. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. It's good to see you. Consider subscribing and joining the Upholds Manhood family, the brotherhood. And without wasting any more time, we're getting right into the video. Let's begin with our daily affirmation. Repeat after me. I'm growing, I'm changing, and I'm evolving for God, for my goals, and for my legacy. Alright, if you participated, as always, I appreciate it. And we're getting right into today's video. So today we're talking about the 5 principles of manhood. And when I refer to the 5 principles of manhood, I'm talking about the 5 main pillars, the 5 main character traits that a righteous man has, that a faithful man has, that a holy and set apart man has. And it's important to adopt these principles, to take them on and apply them to your life, because there are so many people in our lives that need good, strong leadership from men. There are so many people that are lacking strong, wise, healthy men in their lives to give them advice, to give them criticism sometimes, to give them just the safety and the comfort of knowing that they can be protected. So it's important for you as a man, whether you're young, old, or in between, to really focus and fixate on these 5 principles so that you can become the best man possible, not only for yourself, but for your friends, for your family, for your loved ones. You know, it's bigger than us, man. It's always been bigger than us, but now more than ever, as we're leaving boyhood, as we're really coming into manhood, evolving into manhood, we have to focus on how our impact affects the people around us. Because the last thing we want to do is hurt our family, or to hurt our loved ones, to hurt our spouse. But sometimes as men, you know, we lose sight of our principles, and we end up indirectly doing those things, indirectly hurting the people we love. So it's so important that you listen up, take notes. You know, if you got to get your notebook out, your pencil, do it now so that you can really listen and engage with what I'm about to say, the 5 principles of manhood. Okay, principle number 1 is accountability. Now, before anything else, when we're speaking about manhood, accountability is at the forefront, is at the very beginning of what it means to be a man. Accountability is understanding that you have responsibilities on this earth. You have certain obligations as a man already off the rip that you have to follow, you have to hold fast to. You have to complete these. You have to show up. That's your accountability. That's understanding that as a man, there's some things in life you gotta do. Accountability. One of your obligations is to lead your family, to lead them in a righteous way. That might be trying to get them into a good church, or that might be trying to teach them right from wrong, to establish a good family dynamic where you are the head of the household. That's your accountability. If you take that position, you have to stand up for that. You have to be responsible for what you're doing. The second principle of manhood is leadership. I kind of touched on this when I spoke about being the head of your family and accountability, but leadership goes hand in hand with that, fellas. As a man, you are naturally going to be a leader, whether it be in your family, whether it be on a sports team, whether it be in your environments at school, you know, with your studies, or whether it be in the workplace. You are a leader, whether you realize it or not. Your presence and the words you speak, the way you act, your tone and your behaviors have impacts on people around you, whether you realize it or not. You are a leader. So it's important to lead with integrity and accountability. You can't be doing whatever. You have to hold fast to your responsibilities and what you say you're going to do. Keep your word. That's part of leadership. Honesty. Reliability. I'm learning about that right now, man. I'm trying to be a more reliable person for all of my responsibilities. I got a lot on my plate. I do. But as a man, I'm realizing that, you know, my word being my bond is so important and vital. Your word needs to be worth something, because if it's not, people won't value it. Your spouse won't value it. Your parents won't value it. Your friends won't value it. If you give your word and you go back on it too many times, people will no longer value your word at all. People will no longer value your word at all. It's so important, fellas. Keep your word. The third principle of manhood is purpose. Now, every man on this planet has a purpose. How do I know that? Because my Father, my God, destined for that to be the way things go. You have a purpose. I have a purpose. Every man has a purpose. And I'm going to tell you right now, nobody wants to be around a guy that has no purpose or that neglects his purpose. Nobody wants to be around a guy that's afraid of taking risk or responsibility. If you're not willing to go for anything in your life, you just want life to take you through the motions, you're never going to actually live, fellas. Life begins when you find your purpose and decide that you're going all in towards that. Life begins when you decide that you're not going to sit around and be average or sit around and never achieve what it is that you know that you're destined for. God put you on this planet for an amazing purpose. You might be the next guy to cure cancer or something crazy and of the sort. But if you're so worried about what people are going to think, and if you're not really directed towards your purpose, you don't really feel driven to do it, you don't feel confident enough, you're holding everybody else back because you're not fulfilling what God wants you to do. It's so important, man. If you can't do it for everybody else, if you can't do it for your moms, if you can't do it for your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, do it for you. Or do it for God. But do it. Seek your purpose. If you don't know what it is, speak to God in prayer, ask Him, and He will reveal it to you. And then go. The fourth pillar, the fourth principle of manhood is self-mastery. Now, this one might be one of the most underappreciated yet most important pillars on this list. Self-mastery is kind of hand in hand with self-control. Fellas, we have to be in control of our emotions and of our actions because our actions reveal our character. You might get worked up, you might get flustered, people might make you mad. How are you reacting to that situation? Do other people have control and access over emotions? Do other people have control and access over the things you say, you do, and you think? Or do you have control over that because you are your own person, because you are secure in yourself? It's so serious because when you lash out at the people you love, and the whole time you might not even be mad at them. It might be outside sources and factors that are making you mad. But when you lash out at the people you love, you're pushing them away, and that's the last thing you want to do as a man. That's horrible leadership. You're breaking the trust and you're instilling fear into their minds instead of love and instead of trust. And fear is not a pillar of manhood. The fifth and final principle of manhood is humility. Now this one has to be at the top. The most important, the best for last pillar, the best principle you could ever establish in your life, fellas, is humility. Understanding that God is God and you are not. Understanding that you were put on this earth to serve and not to be served. I've said in other videos before, you are put on this earth to serve and not to be served. Life is not all about you. There are so many other people in this life probably going through way worse than you are right now that could use some love. Let's show that love. Let's be examples of Jesus Christ wherever we go, in any situation, in any environment. Let's be that example. Let's be that light to others because we don't know what the people around us are going through. Let's be servants to the ones we love and to the ones we don't, to strangers, because that's the way Jesus set His example on earth. All right, let's do it, man. These are the 5 principles of manhood. Number 1, accountability. Number 2, leadership. Number 3, purpose. Number 4, self-mastery. And number 5, humility. Apply these 5 pillars in your life and watch it change. Apply these 5 pillars in your life and watch your relationships flourish. Watch yourself achieve your true potential and evolve to manhood. Alright, that's all I got for y'all fellas today, man. Let me know in the comment section if this video resonated with you. It's good to see you as always. I hope you're doing alright. If you need prayer for anything you're going through in your life, let me know in the comment section. I will pray for you. And just let me know how you're doing as a whole. I love to talk to y'all in the comments. And just let me know how you're doing as a whole. I love to talk to y'all in the comments, see how you're doing, catch up with you. This is a family, and I mean that. But nonetheless, let's keep growing, changing, and evolving, and I'll see you in the next video.